It all starts tonight. New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. It's the last Thursday night football game of the season, Sam. This is it. Wrapping it up with Jets and Browns. Browns favored by 7.5 with a chance they can clinch a playoff spot here, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a win, with Joe Flacco going up against his former team, the Jets.
Vacation time for Al after this game.
That's it, huh?
Just on the jet, onto the beach.
It's been a good year for Al-ish. So he's getting cut from the playoffs. Al's not making the playoffs.
No.
But
it's not even on the bubble or in the hunt. It's just out. Eliminated.
Man, the Browns really put themselves in an amazing position. The number one defense in EPA per play. And then, of course, the most obvious mismatch here is the Browns' number one pass rush grade in the NFL per PFF against the Jets in their third worst pass blocking grade, with Trevor Siemian at the helm again because Zach Wilson's still in concussion protocol. It looks like as long as Flacco doesn't implode here, Sam, Cleveland should take care of business and go to the playoffs as a team that probably don't want to play in the playoffs the way their defense is playing.
And they feel like a team that's just kind of a glimpse for the Jets of what they could have had. You know, Joe Flacco, who used to be a quarterback on the Jets, and now he's the guy that's steering the ship for the Browns, who are like, those two teams are in very similar situations in terms of being carried by the defense, no quarterback to speak of, and one of them is making it work and the other one isn't. Now, there are differences, like the Browns' offensive line, even down 3 starting caliber offensive tackles, is still significantly better than the Jets. But it is, the comparisons between the two are difficult to avoid when you consider Flacco used to be the quarterback on the other team. He comes in off the couch and he's sort of rescued their season, whereas the Jets just can't find any type of viable quarterback play at this point. Flacco now has the same number of passing touchdowns as the New York Jets does this season. The New York Jets do. So for the Jets, for Saleh, for everybody involved there, it does feel very difficult to avoid looking across and being like, maybe we should have had him instead of Tim Boyle.
Yeah, a lot of hindsight. But there was foresight for a lot of people, too. As soon as Aaron Rodgers went down, you going to make a move, Jets? You going to make a move? I don't know anybody that would have the foresight, though, to call Joe Flacco off the couch and expect him to have a game like he did last week in particular.
No.
Chucking it down the field, making big-time throws, throwing 10 touchdowns in just, 4 starts. Nobody expected that.
No, but there absolutely were people saying, Flacco might be better than the current options.
Yeah,
like maybe Flacco is a guy you should call up.
It's one of my favorite times of the year, though, Sam. One of my favorite, because I get to say things like this. The Cleveland Browns can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a tie. We could root for a tie here tonight if you're a Browns fan. Or, this weekend, a Pittsburgh loss or tie, a Buffalo loss, a Jacksonville loss or tie, or a Houston loss or tie, plus a Colts loss or tie. That's what you're rooting for this weekend, Browns fans, for just a playoff spot.
Okay.
But just take care of business tonight, and they're in. They're 7.5-point favorites. I think all year, man, I thought coming into the season, we thought the Browns had a good roster. They just needed to get good enough quarterback play. And ironically, I think Deshaun Watson was on his way there before he got hurt. But it's been Joe Flacco who's been there giving them good enough quarterback play. So, again, as long as he doesn't implode, I think they win this game.
Which is possible, by the way. I mean, the Browns have the number one defense in the NFL. The Jets' defense is still very, very good and absolutely capable of causing problems for Joe Flacco. And, he's coming off, what was it, the best game he had since 2017, something crazy like that. He's coming off one of the best games he's had in years. So the narrative is riding high. It's all, hey, look at Joe Flacco. He's rescued the season. He's amazing. Like, this could easily be a game where you get very bad Joe Flacco.
Well, it's the number one team in EPA per play against, the Browns, and then versus the number 3 team, the Jets. And again, the Jets happen to have the number one coverage grade in the NFL. We've been citing just how difficult they've made life for most opposing quarterbacks this year. That absolutely could happen. We could have one of those classic Thursday night 12-9 games.
Sure. I mean, Flacco is only a week removed from having a 4-turnover worthy play game. If he does that against the Jets defense, number one, it'll be very difficult for the Browns to cover 6 points if that happens, but also the Jets are live in the game if that happens.
Well, let's make some picks here. 7.5, is that too much for the Browns at home here? You may have talked me out of it. The high is, the last thing we saw was Flacco playing just unbelievable last week, but is that the norm? Probably not.
No.
Where are you going with this one?
All right, I hate it. I'm gonna go with the Jets keeping it within that giant sum of points.
All right, I'm going to go with my first instinct. Despite you trying to talk me out of it, I'll take the Browns covering this. It's a big number, 7.5, here on Thursday Night Football.